Hello students, now I am going to do paper 2 of Department of Education, Western Province, Year End Evaluation 2019. So this is 3 hours paper. So you get 2 parts, part A and part B. You get 6 questions each, but you have to select only 5 questions. So each part you can spend 1.5 hours. So that means spend 18 minutes maximum for each question. And what about the marks? Each question worth 10 marks. So you have given the volume of the cylinder is pi r squared h and volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cube. So select 5 questions out of 6 from part A and 5 questions from part B. So in the first page you get part A 1 and 2, second page questions 3, 4, 5, 6, then third page part B you get question 7, 8, 9 and the other page you get 10, 11, 12. So let's do paper 2. Let's do question number 1 in paper 2, part A. Annual compound interest rate is 15% and annual dividend of 6 rupees per share with the market value 50 rupees. Mr. Amarasena deposited 60,000 rupees in the financial institute A for 2 years and invested some amount to buy shares in the company B. What is the interest received by Mr. Amarasena at the end of the year? And you get several questions. So 4 parts are there. So we'll do separately. First part, what is the interest received by Mr. Amarasena at the end of the year? So 15% interest rate. What's the amount? 60,000. So what is the amount received after 1 year? 60,000 into 15%. That's the interest received by Mr. Amarasena at the end of 1 year. 2 zeros get cancelled out. 6 times 5, 30. 6 times 1, 6 plus 3, 9. And 2 zeros. So 9,000 rupees. And what is the total amount received by Mr. Amarasena at the end of 2 years? So this is the interest. So what is the amount end of the first year? 60,000 plus 9,000, 69,000. So that's the amount after 1 year. Now again 15% interest. So we need with the interest, so we can just straight away multiply by 115 over 100 rather than doing 15% and then adding to this amount. We can do 69,000 into 115 over 100. So 2 zeros get cancelled out. 690 multiplied by 115. 100, 10 and 5. So multiply by 0. So you get another 0 here. And 9, 6. And here 5 times 0, 0. 5 times 9, 45. 4 remaining. 5 times 6, 30 plus 4, 34. So the total is 79,350 rupees. That's the amount he received after 2 years with the interest 15%. So let's give marks. So 9,000 rupees, 2 marks. And 79,350, you get 3 marks. Next part, if the annual dividend received by Mr. Amarasena from the company B is 6,000 rupees, how much did he invest in company B? So the interest, dividend, annual dividend received is 6,000. So each part is 6 per share. So how many shares are there? How many shares? Number of shares you can find easily. Number of shares is equal to 6,000 he got as the dividend, and each one with 6 rupees. So 1,000 shares are there. So what's the value he invested? 50 times 1,000. He bought 1,000 shares with 50 rupee each. So if the annual dividend received from this company B is 6,000, how much did he invest in company B? So 1,000 into 50. So the amount invested, each one 50 rupees with 1,000 shares, 50,000 rupees. So how many marks for that step? Part 3. That's 2 marks. Last part, after receiving the annual dividend in the second year, he sold all his shares when the market value is 60 rupees per share. Find the total income he receives after 2 years. So here, after first year, he got 6,000 rupees. So after second year also, he is getting the same amount. So 6,000 into 2. So that's for 2 years. Dividends for 2 years, 6,000 into 2, 12,000 rupees. And the market, when the market value is 60,000, he sold all his shares. So earlier he bought for 50 rupees. So what's the difference? So what's the profit? So profit per share is 60 minus 50. That's he is getting 10 rupees per share. But 1,000 shares are there. So total profit 10 into 1,000. So what's the value? Here you get 10,000 rupees. So what's the total income? So this is the capital gain per share, and this is the capital gain for all shares. So we say capital gain. So what is the total income? So they are asking total income from the capital gain, that's 10,000, and from dividends 12,000. Altogether 22,000 rupees is the total income. So how many marks for the fourth part? So you get 3 marks. So let's see whether we gave all marks. 3, 2, 5, and 5, 10 marks for the first question. Let's do the second question. This is about graphs. So you have to draw a quadratic graph and answer the questions given. An incomplete table of values prepared to draw the graph of the function y equals 4 minus x minus 1 whole thing squared is given below. obtain the value of y when x equals 1. So you have to just substitute the value. So y equals 4 minus x minus 1 whole thing squared. So when x equals 1, you get here 0. 4 minus 0, that's 4. So this value is 4. Using a suitable scale, draw the graph of the function on a Cartesian plane. So we need to draw the quadratic graph. So how you decide the scale? First see, minus 2 to 4 you have to mark. So we'll take one big square as 1 unit and then we'll mark like that. So here starting from minus 2. Minus 2 minus 1, 0. And then you can mark 4. Now we can draw the y-axis from there. Then mark the y-axis values starting from plus 4. We'll take 4 here. 10 squares, 1 unit. 3, 2, 1, 0. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. And the minimum is minus 5. Now we can draw the x-axis. Now you can mark the x values 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 1, minus 2. So that's the scale. So you can write the scale. This side 0.1. Small square is 1 over 10, that's 0.1. So this way also 0.1. Now let's mark the points. Minus 2 minus 5. Minus 2 minus 5. Minus 1 0. 0 3. 1 4. 2 3. 3 0. And 4 minus 5. Now you have to smoothly connect. So what's my advice always? You can use the ruler only to draw these 2 points, the outer, the corner ones. But when it comes to the curve part, you can't use the ruler. So now smoothly you have to connect here to here and here to here. So that's the graph, quadratic graph. So how many marks for that? Always 3 marks for the graph. 1 mark for adjusting the scale and 1 mark for marking the points and smoothly connecting, 1 mark. So 3 marks there and 1 mark for finding the value of y here. So altogether 4 marks for this step. So let's do the next one. Describe the graph of the function in the range x in between 2 to 4. X is in between 2 to 4. So you have to describe the graph here to here. So how we do that? You need to describe from here 2 to 4. So 2 different functions. So you have to write it separately. So we'll write what happens when it goes to 2 to 3. It's decreasing positively. So you can write decreasing positively when x is in between 2 to 3. Then here to here, 3 to 4, what happens? It's also decreasing, but it's decreasing negatively. So you can write decreasing negatively when x is in between 3 to 4. So 2 marks you can get for this question. 1 mark for this and 1 mark for this step. Part 4. If the graph of the function can be expressed in the form y equals a plus x and b minus x, write the values of a and b. So you need to think about what are the values we can take for a and b. So y equals a plus x, b minus x. Now what was the graph before? We had the graph y equals 4 minus x minus 1 whole thing squared. So we need factors. 4 minus x minus 1 squared. So you can use that also to find out the factors. So we'll take 4 minus x minus 1 whole thing squared. You can use difference between two squared terms. 2 squared minus x minus 1 squared. And what are the factors? Two factors you are getting. One is plus and the other one is minus. Make sure that you put brackets here. So what are the factors? 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 plus x and 2 minus x minus minus plus 1. 1 plus x and 2 plus 1, 3 minus x. Now compare this and this. A plus x. So what's the value of a? A equals 1. What's the value of b? B equals 3. When you compare these two, you get a equals 1 and b equals 3. So that's part 4. Part 5. Obtain the solution of the function x squared plus 2x plus 3 using the graph. X squared equals 2x plus 3. So when you take it to the other side, what happens? Minus 2x and minus 3. I took these two to the other side. That becomes minus. Then when you factorize this, what are the factors you are getting? Factors of minus 3. When you take the difference, you are getting minus 2, 3 and 1. So, but here minus 3 and plus 1. So, the factors are minus 3 and plus 1. So, you can use the short method or you can split the middle term to minus 3x and plus 1x and factorize. So, you get x minus 3 and x plus 1. So, when you equate to 0, that means here when y equals 0, the values of the x's are the solutions of this equation. So, we get x equals 3 and x equals minus 1. So, you don't need to use this one and find the factors. We can see this is same graph here. When you simplify this, you get the same graph. So you can cross multiply here. We got this one before, 1 plus x and 3 minus x. So you get same thing. So basically you can read the graph when y equals 0. So from y equals 0, x values are minus 1 or 3. Those are the two solutions using the graph. You don't have to factorize and get the solutions here. You can use the same graph. So how many marks? 1 and 3, you get 2 marks there. And here x equals minus 1 and 3, here also 2 marks. So we gave altogether 10 marks for the whole question. Question number 3. This is about simultaneous equations and inequalities. So let's do question number 3. In a certain vehicle park which is only for three-wheelers and motor cars, the number of motor cars parked is 1 less than twice the number of three-wheelers parked inside it. The total number of wheels of the vehicles parked inside the vehicle park is 73. Ignore the spare wheel. By taking the number of three-wheelers as A, three-wheelers as A and number of cars as B. Now we have to again read the question and construct the two equations. The number of motor cars parked is 1 less than twice the number of three-wheelers parked. The number of motor cars parked is 1 less than. So B, so that's B equals 1 less than twice the number of the three-wheelers. So B equals 2A minus 1. So you can take it to this side and write minus 1. When you take it to this side, that's 1. And 2A minus B. That's your first equation. Now let's read the next one. The total number of wheels of the vehicles parked inside the vehicle park is 73. So in three-wheelers, 3 wheels are there. So 3A plus cars 4 wheels, 4B. The total is 73. That's your second equation. Now we have 2 equations and 2 unknowns. We can solve it. So you have to make the same coefficient. Now it's easy to multiply the first one by 4 to get the same coefficient. So we'll do that. 1 times 4, 8A minus 4B equals 4. That's your third equation. Now, same coefficient, different signs, you can add the 2 equations. So we can add these 2 to get rid of the B coefficient. So B disappeared when we add 2 and 3. 8 plus 3, 11A, that's equal to 77. So what's A? 77 over 11. A is 7. So substitute to one of the equations. We'll take 1. So 2A, 2 times 7 minus B equals 1. That's 14 minus B equals 1. So what's B? B equals 14 minus 1. That's 13. So what it means? A means three-wheelers. So 7 three-wheelers are there. And 13 cars are there. So that's the answer. So how many marks for this question? So you get 2 marks for creating the equation, 2 equations, and solving up to x equals 7. X means here we have A equals 7 and B equals 13. So we get 5 marks. So that's 7 marks for finding the values. So let's do part B. Find the maximum value of which satisfy the inequality. So this is already given. 4x plus 5, 2x minus 1 less than or equal to 79. So this is actually related to the previous one. So 2x minus 1 means we had 2a minus b, or 2a minus 1 is b. Related to that, but in different way. So, if this is the equation, find the maximum value which satisfies the inequality. So, we can expand brackets first. 10x, 5 minus 1, 5, less than or equal to 79. Then 14x minus 5 is less than or equal to 79. Take minus 5 to the other side. 14x less than or equal to 79 plus 5. 84. And when you divide by 14, what you get? 6. So, x is less than or equal to 6. So, that means what's the maximum value? X is also included. Yes, 6 is also included. So, maximum value is 6. Six is the maximum value. So, you get 3 marks for this part. So, 3 marks for this inequality. So, altogether we gave 10 marks for this question. Question number 4. According to the information marked in ABCD rhombus, show that value of x satisfy the quadratic equation and find BD length to the nearest first decimal place. Take root 17 as 4.12. So, we'll do that here. So, x plus 1 is this length. X is here. So, this is a rhombus, 90 degrees at the center, at the intersecting point of the two diagonals. So, this is 90. What can we use? We can use Pythagoras Theorem. So, in the rhombus, we can say this is the hypotenuse. So, 3 squared is equal to, one length is x plus 1 and the other one is x. So, square terms of that using Pythagoras. Now, we'll expand this. X squared, first term squared, last term squared, and double of the middle two terms. So, 2x plus x squared is equal to 9. If you can't multiply at once, you can do it separately. X plus 1 into x plus 1. According to rainbow method, you can multiply and write down the value. So, x squared and x squared, 2x squared plus 2x. And here, when you take 9 to the other side, 1 minus 9 is minus 8. 1 minus 9 is equal to 0. Divide the whole equation by 2. You get 0, x squared, x minus 4. So, that's what we need. X squared plus x minus 4 is equal to 0. So, that's the first part. So, we'll give how many marks for that step? Up to this point, we can give just 3 marks. Now, we need to solve it. How we solve? It's given root 17 is 4.12. So, we'll use completing square method. It's easy because root 17 is given. So, how you make a square term? You take the x term, that's 1, divide by 2 and square it. So, that means you are adding 1/4 to that. So, you are adding 1/4. In order to get no difference, you have to subtract 1/4, the same amount. So, first 3 terms you can write x plus half whole thing squared. We take the square root of this, square root of this. Here, automatically you get the square term. So, middle terms, 2 times of that. That's 1x. What about this one? This one. This is, take the same denominator. 16 and 1, 17. Now, take it to the other side. you get x plus half squared is equal to 17 over 4. Take square root both sides. X plus half is root 17 over 2. Now, what's the x value? Root 17 minus 1 divided by 2. 2 is the lowest common multiple. Now, you can substitute the value. So, what's the root 17 value given? 4.12. So, we can substitute now. 4.12 minus 1. So, you get 3.12 divided by 2. What's the x value? 2 times 1, 2. For 11, that's 5, 10, and for 12, that's 6. 1.56 centimeters. So, let's see whether this is centimeters. Yeah, so 3 centimeters is given. So, the x value, that means the x value we found, that's this length. Now, we want BD length to the nearest first decimal. BD. BD means x plus 1 twice. So, let's find out BD length. BD length is 2 times x plus 1. That means 2x plus 2. Substitute 2 times 1.56 plus 2. You get 3.12 plus 2. You get 5.12. But correct to 1 decimal place. That's 5.1 centimeters is the BD length. Correct to 1 decimal place. So, how many marks? So, let's take this one. So, up to x equals 1.56, you get 3 marks. And x finding BD length, that's 5.1, you are getting 4 marks. Finding 2 times x plus 1, then substitute. So, 4 marks. 4 plus 3, 7. And the previous part, we gave 3. So, altogether 10 marks. Question number 5. So, you get 4 parts. So, we'll do separately. So, angle of depression, you have to sketch it. So, we'll see how we can do it. From the top B of a vertical lighthouse AB, a boat C which is moving 10 meters away from A can be observed at an angle of depression of 68 degrees and 42 minutes. Draw the location of ABC in a rough sketch and mark the given measurements in it. So, we'll try to sketch it. From the top B of a vertical lighthouse, we take this one is a lighthouse. A boat C which is moving, this is AB, C is a boat which is moving 10 meters away from A. 10 meters away from A, which can be observed at an angle of depression of 68. So, angle of depression means you have to draw the horizontal line and mark this angle looking down, 68 minutes, 68 degrees and 42 minutes. That's this angle. So, this is the sketch. So, marking ABC. So, you get marks for that. Then using trigonometric ratios, calculate the height of AB, Lighthouse. So this height. So this angle means same here. So this is also 68:42 minutes, 68 degrees. So to this angle, this is opposite and this is adjacent. Opposite over adjacent, which ratio? Tan ratio. So you can use the tan ratio. Tan of 68:42 is equal to AB over 10. So what's AB then? Just multiply 10 by tan of 68:42. 68:42, you have to use the tangent tables. So use the tangent tables. 68:40, this one, and 2 from this. That's 4. Add 4. 2.564. 2.564 multiplied by 10 means 25.64 meters. This is given in meters. So that's the AB height. So let's see how many marks for this step. You are getting 3 marks. Marking the points A, B, C and these lengths and height. 3 marks for sketching the diagram and 25.64, another 3 marks for using the tan ratio. Now let's do the next part. Five seconds after the initial observation, the board is located at D, which is situated along AC, and if BD is 36.26 meters, calculate the angle of elevation of the top of the house B from the board to the nearest degree. Now, you get the same diagram. What's the difference now? Now, there's another point. Now, it says like this. So, BAC, that's 10 meters, and we found this is 25.64 meters, and D is the point now located at D, which is situated along AC, and BD is 36.26 meters given, and you need to find out the angle of elevation of top of the house B from both to the nearest degree. So you need this angle. So how we find out this angle? To this angle, this is opposite, and you can use this one as the hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse, sine ratio. So sine of the angle we required, BDA, is equal to 25.64 over 36.26. So cat over sine ratio is opposite over hypotenuse. Now how we divide these? You have to use log tables. So we'll use logarithmic tables. So that means you take 25.64 log value and subtract the log value of 36.26. So we have to do this separately. So we'll do it here. If R is 25.64 over 36.26, log of R is log of 25.64 minus log of 36.26. Now refer the log tables. 25.64, that means 1.2564. 7 you have to add. 40.89. Next one. 36, 26. 36, 22, 36, 2, 6. 6 is 7. You have to add 7. 55, 94. 55, 94. And this is also 1 point something. Now, you have to subtract a bigger value from a smaller one. What happens? 5 and 9, and here 1 is there. So 6 plus 4, 10, and here 1 is there. 6 and 8. So here you have to take 1 from here. So that means bar 1 comes here when you subtract a bigger value from a small. So bar 1 point something. Now how you find out the R value? Antilog of bar 1, 8495. So refer the log tables and see where you get 8495. 8494 is there. 77 and 1. 70, 71. 70, 71. And bar 1 means, so this is 0.7071. So you have to plug that value here. Now we use the log tables to find out that 70, 71. So 70, 71, this is 0.7071. So now you have to use sign tables and see where you get this value, inverse sign. So you can do that, but I remember the sign value of this. When you get 45, check with the table, sine 45 is this value. So BDA is 45 degrees. So do that, because here the logarithmic tables we referred, but this is a standard value 45, I remember. This is 45. Now we found out the angle. So what's the question here? Angle of elevation to the nearest degree. So that's 45 degrees. So how many marks for this step? 3 marks. 3 marks for this part. Now let's take the next one. Find the distance travelled by the boat in 5 seconds. So that means we need to find out this distance. So here to here is the distance travelled in 5 seconds. Now we found out this 90-degree angle. This is 45. And if this is 45, this is also 45. 90 minus 45. So this is an isosceles triangle. 2 sides are equal. So AD should be equal to the same length as AB, 25.64. So AD equals 25.64, and you can straight away find out the CD length. So CD length is CD length is, you have to subtract 10. 25.64 minus 10. 15.64 meters, and that's the distance traveled by the boat in 5 seconds. So, what's the value? You don't need a table here straight away, because the lucky part is, because 45 you got as the angle, so the other angle also 45, and that means this is an isosceles triangle. You don't have to use the tangent tables. Otherwise, what you have to do, if this is 45, so you have to find out the AD length using tan 45. This divided by this. So after you get the AD length, you can subtract 10. But the easiest way to do this is using 45-degree angle. So you don't need to refer the table. So what's the mark for that? So you are getting only 1 mark for this question, because just subtract 10. So 1 mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 marks for the whole question. So let's do the next one. Question number 6. That's a statistics question. A frequency distribution prepared from the data collected regarding the number of coconuts sold at Sahani Coconut Selling Center during a certain month is given below. Number of coconuts and number of days. By taking a suitable assumed mean or using another method, find the mean number of coconuts sold in a day to the nearest whole number. If the profit gained by selling a coconut is 8 rupees, show that the profit gained by the vendor within 3 months does not exceed 19,000 rupees. So these are class limits. There's a gap. So make sure that when you are finding the width, you have to add 1 to that. Take the difference and add 1. But you don't need to find the width here. So we'll do using both ways. How you find out the mean? You can take assumed mean or other method. So we'll do both ways. So we'll calculate the mean. So number of coconuts, that's x. (10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34, 35 to 39. And here you can find out the midpoint. We'll take midpoint as x, add and divide by 2. So 24 divided by 2, 12. 34 divided by 2, 17. Now we can see a pattern, adding 5. So add 5, 22. Add 5, 27. Add 5, 32. Add 5, 37. Now the frequencies given 2, 3, 6, 10, 5, 4. So the total is, what's the total? 6 plus 3, 9, 11, 15, 20, so 30. Now you can multiply f and x. 12 times 2, 24. 17 times 3, 51. 22 times 6, 132. 27 times 10, 270. 5 times 32, 160. 37 times 4, 148. Now take the total. Total becomes 5, 7, 15, 1 remaining, 18, 21, 26, 28, 2 remaining, 785. So how you find out the mean? Mean is equal to total of fx and total of f. Sigma means total. Sigma fx, so 785 divided by 30. So what's the value? 30 times 2, 60. And you get 185. So 685 remaining. For 50, that's again 1. So 26.1, but this is number of coconuts. So we have to round it to the nearest whole number. So that's 26 coconuts per day. So that's this method. So we'll use the other method to do this using assumed mean. So same thing, we can do number of coconuts and the mid value x. First few parts are the same. So what are the midpoints we got? 22, 27, 32, 37. And we need the frequency 2, 3, 6, 10, 5, 4 and 30 is the total. Now we can calculate the deviation. We'll take highest frequency is 10, so that means this as the assumed mean, 27, mid value of that interval. So assumed mean is 27. So what's the deviation? X minus 27. Subtract 27 from the x value. So here this is 0 deviation. So always the difference is 5. So this is minus 5, minus 10, minus 15. Here 5, 10. Now we can multiply f and d. 2 times minus 15, minus 30. 3 times minus 10, minus 30. 6 times 5 also minus 30. All minus. This is 0. 5 times 5, 25. 10 times 4, 40. Positive values, 65. Negative values, 90. What's the difference? Minus 25 is the difference. Now, we can find out the mean value is assumed mean plus sigma fd over sigma f. Assumed mean is 27 plus this value, but the difference, the total sigma fd is negative, 25 over 30. So 5 times 5, 5 times 6. So 27 minus 0. This is for 50 divided by 6, 8. For 20 again, you can put 3, that's 18. For 20, so 833 like that. So subtract 27 minus 0.833. You get 26.167. So that means 26 is the answer. Mean number of coconuts is 26. Correct to the whole number. So that's the mean value. So then we'll see how many marks for this question. When you do this way or that way, same number of marks. So how many marks for this one. So in this one, constructing the mid-value column 1 mark, multiplication 1 mark, and the total fx 1 mark. 3 marks there. And then this value 1 mark and 26 point, this is 1 mark, and rounding to the nearest value, that's 1 mark. So 6 marks for finding mean value. So here also 6 marks. Finding mean value, FD column, total FD, and using the formula and finding this and finding the final value. So 6 marks for that. Now let's see the next one. By taking a suitable assumed mean or using another method, find the mean number of coconuts sold in a day to the nearest whole number. Then we have to do this part. If the profit gained by selling a coconut is 8 rupees, show that the profit gained by the vendor within 3 months does not exceed 19,000 rupees. So what is the profit? Total profit for 3 months. 1 coconut, 8 rupees. There are 26 coconuts per day. 26 coconuts per day. 1 with 8 rupee profit. So this is 1 day. Multiply by 30 to get 1 month. And then multiply by 3 to get 3 months. So what's the value? 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 8, 72 times 26, and you have to put a 0. We'll multiply this. 260 multiplied by 72. 70 and 2. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 6, 12. 2 times 2, 4 plus 1, 5. 18,720. Again, shall we check? 720. So this is less than 19,000. So we can write 18,720 less than 19,000. So we can say not exceed 19,000 rupees. So how many marks for this part? So 18,720 is correct. So this is less than that. So final part you are getting 4 marks. Earlier 6 marks for finding mean. So this is 4, altogether 10 marks. Now let's do paper 2 part B. So again you get 6 questions and you have to select only 5 questions. So first question in part B, what you get? First one, 2 parts are there. So this is about number patterns. So let's do separately. In a triangular shaped decoration which was prepared using multicolor electric bulbs, there are 109 bulbs in the first row. In every other row, the number of bulbs in the next row is 4 less than the previous row. So decreasing by 4. There is only 1 bulb in the last row. Find the number of rows of bulbs in this decoration. So what is the pattern? Always decreasing 4. Arithmetic progression. So something like this. First row 109. Second one subtract 4. So likewise, so the last one only 1 bulb. This is last term 1, First term is 109. So A you can write 109. L, last term is 1. And what else you know? The common difference is minus 4 because it's reducing. Find the number of rows of bulbs in this decoration. So you can use nth term formula. Tn equals A plus n minus 1d. Last one is 1. First one is 109. N minus 1d is minus 4. Open brackets. Minus 4n minus minus plus 4. So simplify. You get 109 plus 4, 113. So 113 minus 1 is equal to 4n. That's 112. So what is n? You divide by 4. 4 times 2, 8. 32. 4 times 8, 32. So that means 28 rows are there. So how many marks for that? So you get 3 marks for this question. Next part, find the total number of bulbs in the decoration. So that means sum of all bulbs. So we can use Sn formula. N over 2. Which one is suitable? A plus L, because we know the first row value and the last row value. So n we found 28 is 28. 28 over 2. We'll check it again. 28 is correct. So first one is 109. Last row is 1. So 2 times 14 into 110. Thousand 540 bulbs are all together. So how many marks for this step? 2 marks. Part B. Second term of a geometric progression is 6. The common ratio of it is a positive number and the sum of the third and the fourth term is 36. Find the first term and the common ratio of it. So this is now a geometric progression. So second term, if the first term is A and the common ratio is R, what's the second term? AR. That's given 6. That's your first equation. The common ratio of it is a positive number. So R is positive. And the sum of the third and the fourth terms is 36. Third term, that means AR squared. AR to the power n minus 1. And the fourth term, AR to the power 3. That's equal to 36. That's our second equation. And how can we solve this? We need to find out the first term and the common ratio. Here, can we see AR squared is common? Take it out. So you get 1 plus R. Now we can divide the two equations. In arithmetic, if you want to get rid of one variable, we subtract. In geometric, when we want to ignore one variable, you have to divide. So we have to divide the two equations. Take 3, divide by the first one. You get AR squared 1 plus R. This one divide by AR and here 6. A get cancelled out, 1 R get cancelled out. 6 with 36, that's 6. Now simplify. What's the value here? R plus R squared is equal to 6. Take all terms to one side and try to factorize and see what are the possible R values. Factors of minus 6 and the middle term is R. What are the factors of minus 6 and the difference is plus 1? What are the values? difference is 1. 3 and 2, but difference is 1 means 1 should be positive. So this is negative and positive. Plus 3 and minus 2. If you can't factorize like this, it's better to split the middle term and write down factors. So the product is 0. So what are the r values you can take? R plus 3 should be 0 or r minus 2 should be 0. Then r becomes here negative 3. Here r is 2. But it says positive r value. So you have to ignore this r value. So what's the common ratio? Common ratio is equal to 2. Now we know the common ratio. What's the first term? First term, you can use one of the equations. So AR, first equation. From the first equation, AR equals 6. A into 2 is 6. So what is A? 6 divided by 2. That's 3. So we found the value of A and R. So how many marks? So we gave earlier 2 and 3 5 marks already. So B part also 5 marks. So arithmetic 5 marks question and geometric also 5 marks question. So R equals 2, A equals 3. So 5 marks for the whole process here. So let's move to the next question. Question number 8. So that's the construction question. So in this question, you can use only the ruler and the pair of compasses. So let's do the construction question. For the following constructions, use only the straight edge with the scale millimeter centimeter and the pair of compasses only. Show the construction lines clearly. Construct the triangle PQR where PQ is 8 centimeters, QPR is 45 degrees and PR is 6 centimeters. So we'll do the triangle. So what we do, take the ruler and draw a line. Then you can take the compass and the ruler and measure 8 centimeters first. And you can keep that length on top of the line, mark this point and mark the other point as well. And see, you have to label it as PQ. That's 8 centimeters. Now QPR. QPR angle is 45. So how you construct 45 degree angle? So you have to draw the 90 degree angle and then bisect it. So we'll do that. So take smaller distance. You can draw an arc here, arc on the other side, and then take a longer one and keep on top of this and draw an arc here, an arc on this side. Then you can draw the 90 degree angle, but we don't need 90, so I'll take the broken line. Then you have to bisect 90 to get 45 degrees. So we'll construct that. Take any distance and draw an arc here, arc, and bisect the angle. We are basically bisecting the angle. You get 45 by bisecting 90 degrees. Now we can draw the line. That's 45 degrees. And then what you do? PR is 6 centimeters. So we'll take the compass and measure 6 centimeter length and find out the R point. From P, that's 6 centimeters away from P. So this point is R. So you can mark this point R. Now you can complete PQR triangle. So this is 45 and this is 6 centimeters. Construct the perpendicular bisector of PQ. So we need to construct the perpendicular bisector. So we'll take the compass again. How you bisect 2 points? You take certain distance, more than half of this. You draw an arc below and above. And also keep on top of point Q and draw the other 2 arcs. Now we have 2 points you can connect. This point and this point. This point is the bisector. So that's the perpendicular bisector of PQ. So how many marks for these 2 steps? Drawing PQ line, 1 mark. Constructing QPR angle, 1 mark. Drawing PR line, that's 6 centimeter length, 1 mark. And completing the PQR triangle, that's 3 marks there. Constructing a perpendicular bisector, 2 marks. So 5 marks for that. So let's do the next part. Now take the next one. Name the midpoint of PQ, side as S. So that's this point. We drew the perpendicular bisector. So this is S. Construct the circle which touches PQ at S and the center O lies on extended PR. Extended PR. So the center is there, so which touches PQ. So you have to construct the circle. So how we construct the circle? With the circle touches this PQ length at S. So that means this should be, the center should be on perpendicular bisector as well as this line, PR line. So that means this should be the O point. The intersecting point of this line and this is the PR length is the O point. Now we can take the compass here to here. So this is the OS should be the radius. Now we can draw the circle which touches this one and here. So here touches at S. That's third part. Then fourth part, construct another tangent to the above circle from P and name the point which it touches the circle as T. So which point is that? Here, this is also touches this line. So basically, this point is the T point. That's the other tangent point. Join OT. So we'll do that. This is T. So join OT. And find the value of POT. POT angle, this one. Write the theorem that you use to find the value. So which one? we know this is the bisector of 90-degree angle. So this is the center. So this is 90 degrees and this is also touches that this is 90 degrees. Radius and the tangent both are perpendicular. And this is 45 and this is 45 because this is the angle bisector. If this is 45, this is 90. So TRP or POT. POT angle is equal to 45 degrees. And they are asking what's the theorem we used? So we used the radius is perpendicular to the tangent. That's why this is because of 90. Or you can say when you draw tangents, two tangents to the same circle, the line joining with the center to that point is bisecting the angle. So this angle 45, this is also 45. So you can use that theorem for that. So we'll write down the line joining the center and the point outside the circle bisect middle angle because of the two tangents. Because of two tangents to the circle. So this is outside point. So these are the two tangents. So when you connect the outside point with the center, this angle bisect each other. So this is 45, this is 45. Or you can write the radius is perpendicular to the tangent. So this is 90 degrees, so 45. So easily you can write this is also 45. So how many marks for that? So we did all parts. So we'll see how many marks. So naming S 1 mark. And marking O point 1 mark. And drawing PT line 1 mark. So that means basically marking the T point. And this is 45, 1 mark. And this is 1 mark for writing the theorem. So altogether, how many marks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 marks for the whole question. Question number 9. So this is about proofs. So in the ABCD rectangle, AC and BD diagonals are joined. Midpoints of AB, BC, CD, DE are P, Q, R and S respectively. Copy the diagram in your answer sheet and show that PQR is a rhombus, and then show that area of PQRS rhombus is equal to area of ABCD rectangle minus 4 times APS triangle. So we'll do separately. So this is the diagram. So you have to mark the midpoints. Midpoints of AB. So this is P. Midpoint of BC, that's Q. CD, that's R, this is S. So these lengths are equal. This length we can mark like this, midpoints, all are midpoints. Copy and answer this question. Show that PQRS is a rhombus. So we need to connect. So you have to show that this is a rhombus. So how you do that? So that means sides are equal and also parallel you have to show. So we'll take the first step. Think about ACD triangle. What can you say about these midpoints? When you're joining two midpoints, according to midpoint theorem, SR is parallel to AC, as well as AC is half, or you can write AC is double of, twice of SR, according to midpoint theorem. And also you can do the same thing to the other side. If you take ABC triangle, P and Q are both midpoints. When you're joining midpoints, you can say PQ is parallel to AC, as well as you can say AC is 2PQ. That's also midpoint theorem. Now from this, SR is parallel to AC as well as parallel to PQ. So we can say therefore SR is parallel to PQ. So these two sides are also parallel. And you can say that's also equal length. Now look at these two equations, this and this. AC is same thing. So you can say 2SR is equal to 2PQ. When you divide this by 2, you get SR equals PQ. So SR equals PQ. So opposite side, a pair of opposite side equal and parallel, that's a parallelogram. So you can now say SPQR is a parallelogram. Why? Pair of opposite sides equal and parallel. Now we have to show that SP is equal to PQ. The adjacent lengths are equal because rhombus all sides are equal. How can we do that now? We know in a rectangle diagonals are equal. So in the rectangle AC is same as BD. So we can write the same thing for the other side. So we can write BD is parallel to SP, same thing because it's a parallelogram, as well as we can write SP is equal to half of BD, as well as this is half of AD, half of AC, because AC and BD are equal. So that means AC equals 2SP, as well as you can write this is 2QR, QR as well, 2QR. So that means SP, QR, and all the sides are equal. SR, PQ, all the lengths are equal. So parallelogram with all sides are equal. So therefore PQRS is a rhombus. So how many marks for that step? So 6 marks you are getting for proving all these steps. 6 marks for the whole question. Now let's take the second part. Show that area of PQRS. So we need to mark the points. PQRS. Now we found out it's a rhombus. All sides are equal. So area of PQRS rhombus is area of the ABCD minus 4 times APS. So we found this length is equal to this length and this one, this length. Now look at APS triangle. So this is 90, this is 90, this is 90, this is 90. So when you take all these lengths, think about APS triangle, this one and this triangle, this triangle and this triangle, all are equal. Congruent triangles. Why? We can say length is their same length and this length is equal and the angle. So you can say side, angle, side. So we can say APS triangle is congruent to SDR triangle and it's also congruent to QCR triangle and it's congruent to PBQ triangle. What's the reason? Side, angle, side. So side, angle, side. SAS. Because of these are congruent, the area of this whole part is 4 times one triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why the area, you can say area of the rhombus PQRS is equal to area of the ABCD rectangle minus 4 times APS triangle. Because all these triangles are congruent, when you subtract 4 triangles from the rectangle, you get the area of the PQRS rhombus. So that's the proof. So you get 4 marks for that. 4 marks for this proof. So let's take the next question. Question number 10. So you need to prove using volume. You have to prove R equals 3 over cube root of 2. So let's do it. Figure shows a cylindrical glass container with the internal radius R and the height 3 times the radius, that's 3R. A solid metal hemisphere with the radius R is put inside the cylinder as shown in the figure and water is poured into the cylinder until it gets filled completely. If the quantity of the water needed to fill the container is 99 milliliters, show that R equals 3 over cube root of 2 and using logarithmic tables find the value of R to the nearest second decimal place. Take 1 milliliter is 1 cubic centimeter. We already know that. So 1 milliliter is 1 cubic centimeter. That means 99 milliliters means 99 cubic centimeters. So what we can do, we can form an equation. The volume of water is the difference between the two volumes. Volume of cylinder minus the volume of hemisphere. So we can do that. So water volume 99 cubic centimeters is equal to volume of the cylinder pi 22/7 r squared, h is also 3r, minus, what's the volume of the hemisphere? Volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cube. So you have to divide by 2. 4/3 half pi 22/7 and r cube. Now we'll try to simplify. Can we simplify this? We'll take 22/7 out from this and you get 3r. R cube also you can take it out. R cube, we'll take it out. So you get 3 here minus this 2 and this here you get 2. So 22/7 r cube, when you take it out, you get 2/3. That's 99. Now simplify this. Multiply by 7 and divide by 22 is r cube. And here take the same denominator. So that means 9 minus 2. 9/3 minus 2/3. 9 minus 2, that's 7. 7/3 r cube is 7 into 99/22. So what is r cube? Multiply by 3 and divide by 22 and 7. 7 gets cancelled out. 11 times 2, 11 times 9. 9 times 3, 27 over 2. So when you take the cube root, what happens here? R cube is 27 means 3 to the power 3 and 2 here. When you take both sides cube root, what you get r? R becomes, here 3 get cancelled out. So 3 over, here you get cube root of 2. So that's what we need. So r equals 3 over cube root of 3. So that's the proof. Using the volumes, we showed that r equals this. So how many marks up to this point? You get 4 marks. Now let's use logarithmic tables to find out the solution for r. So r equals 3 over cube root of 2. Take log both sides. Log 3 minus cube root, you can write 1/3 log of 2. Cube root of 2. So log 3, use the logarithmic table, 30, 4771, 0.4771 and 1/3 into log 2, 20, 0.3010. Divide by 3 first. You get 1, 0, 0. 3 times 3, 9, and for 10, that's 3. So you don't need to add. So 1, 0, 0, 3. Now subtract. 0.4771, 0.1003. Subtract. .3768. Now take the antilog value of this to find out R. 3768. 3766 is there, so we need another 2. 2381. 2381. So this is 0 point, so 2.381 is the R value. Now they mention the value correct to the nearest second decimal place. Second decimal place. So these all in centimeters. Cubic centimeters are there, so centimeters to the 2 decimal place, that's 2.38 centimeters is the R value. So how many marks for this step? 2.38, and you get 6 marks for that. So you are getting 1 mark for taking logarithms, and for this one, 1 mark, referring the log table 1 each, and taking the difference and finding this value 1 mark, and taking the antilog value 1 mark, and find the final answer 1 mark. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 marks for the whole question. So 6 and 4 before, 10 marks. Question number 11, that's sets question. Sets, and sometimes you get probability part as well. A Venn diagram drawn to represent the data on number of students and the reserve contestants who were participated for a certain singing and recital competition is given below. 35 contestants were participated for the singing competition. So we have to copy and mark the information on the Venn diagram. So we'll do that. 35 contestants were participated for the singing competition. So this is singing, so this is 35. And 28 contestants were participated by playing an instrument. So 28 here. There were 2 reserve contestants, so that means not participated. So reserve outside the 2 circles. Total number of contestants participated are 50. So that means 50 is here. How many were participated for both items? So that means you have to find out this part. So easily you can find out by closing this, or you can find using X. So we'll first close this one. This whole circle is 35. 35 and 2, 37. 50 minus 37 you get here. 13 here. Then if the whole circle is 28, so what is here? 28 minus 13, that's 15. If this is 15, this one you get 20. So easily you can fill by closing one circle, or if you can't see that, you can just put X here. So if you are using X here, if this is X, what is this region? 35 minus X. What is this one? 28 is the full circle, 28 minus X. Now the sum is 50. So we can construct an equation. 35 minus X plus 28 minus X plus 2 equals 50. all values of each region you have to add and equate to 50. Minus x plus 6 get cancel out. 35 and here 28 plus 2, 30. 30 plus 35, 65. Minus x is 50. X becomes 65 minus 50. You get 15. So that way also possible. So either this way or closing one circle you can get the values. Now after completing the Venn diagram, you can answer the questions. How many were participated for both items? So that means this region, that's 15. And what's the next part? Among the contestants who participated, 21 have won the competition and 10 of them have won in both singing and instrumental playing. No contestants has won, only instrumental playing. Copy the above Venn diagram and again and include the subset winners in it and include the above data. So can you remember we had 50, 35, 28, 15 like that, 35, 28 and 2 and 15 inside. But now we have to change it. Now there's another circle. Is there? Among the countries who participated, 21 have won the competition. Those who won the competition is another circle. So we have to put that circle there. And it says 10 of them have won both singing and instrumental playing. So 10 should be there. No contestants have won, only instruments. So that circle, new circle is not intersecting this part. So you have to draw a circle somewhere here. So what's the circle? Those who won. So you can write those who won is this circle. Now we can put the values. So what are the values there? We know that this is 2 and this is 15, but it says 10 of them have won both singing and, so that means this is 10. The whole thing is 15 we found before, so that means this part should be 5. Then what about the other side? We had, what's the other side? This side is 20. But now, how many won? 21. So 21 won, this is 10, so this should be 11. Now 11 is there, so 20 minus 11, that's 9 is this part. So that's 9. Now what about the other part? That part is the same as before. That's 13. This part is not changing, that's 13. So this is the new diagram. And they are asking, shade the region who won only in singing items. So singing is this part, so you have to shade it. I'll put a color there. This part is the region. That means those who won only the singing competition. That's the shaded part. Now we'll see how many marks for each step. So we did this part. So 15, just 1 mark. And 5 marks for marking 20, 15, 13, 2. So 5 marks here. And then third part, 3 marks, 11, 10, 5, 9, 13. So 3 marks for this. And the last part, shading this region, that's 1 mark. 3, 4, 5 and 5, 10 marks altogether. Now let's do the last question. Question number 12. This is about circle theorems. In the figure, PQR is a cyclic quadrilateral produced SR and PQ meets at T. PR, PS, RT equals, show by giving reasons. 3 steps are there. So we'll do separately. We have to mark all the given information. PR, this one is equal to PS, that's equal to RT, already marked. So PSR is bisected by QS. So that means these two angles are equal. We'll take this one as A. This length is equal to this length, that means this is also A, isosceles triangle. Then if this is A, this becomes 2A. Exterior angle is equal to sum of opposite interior angles. This side is equal to this side, so this is also 2A. But look at the circle. This angle and this angle both are equal. Same segment angles are equal with the QR arc. So if this is A, this becomes A because the whole thing is 2A. Now we can obviously see that the angle is bisected by QS. So we have to write all the information like that. So we'll write down, first you can write QTR angle is equal to TPR angle, we'll take as A because TR is equal to RP, isosceles triangle. Then you can write PRS angle is 2A. That's because of addition of these two angles. PTR angle plus TPR angle. That's 2A. Then you can write PRS angle is same as PSR angle because of PR is equal to PS, isosceles triangle. And also we can write QPR angle, that's A, is same as QSR angle because of same segment angles. Now if this is A, you can say by subtracting 2A minus A, so PSQ angle is same as QSR angle. Each one A, so that means you can say QS is the angle bisector of PSR. So you can easily prove that. So how many marks for first part? You get 4 marks for that. 4 marks for the first part. Now let's take the second part. PQS triangle. We'll mark those two triangles. PQS, this triangle, and QRT. This triangle, we have to show that both are congruent. Let's do it. This length is equal to this length. And we can mark the angles we did before. This is A, This is 2A, this is A, and what else we had it? So those are the lengths we had it. Now can you see, when you take PQS triangle and QRT triangle, we can say TR is equal to PS. That's given. And angle A also there. QTR angle is same as QSP angle. That's A. Now look at carefully this one. So what is this angle? This angle. So if we can find out this angle is same as the other angle. So what is this one? If we take B here, this is the exterior angle of the cyclic quadrilateral. That's equal to this angle. So now that angle also equal. So we can write QRT angle is equal to QPS angle. That's B. Two angles and one length. So we can say PQS triangle is congruent to QRT triangle because of angle, side. Two angles and one side. So how many marks for that step? You get 3 marks. AAS, and showing that you get 3 marks. Now let's take the last part of it. If QTR, this angle is 30 degrees, QS is a diameter. So you have to show QS is the diameter. So we can mark it. If this is 30, this is 30. Isosceles triangle. This is 30, this is 30, that means this is 60. So this is 60, this is 60. So when you take PSR triangle, 60 and 60, 120, so this is also 60. Now look at this one. What is QPS angle? That's 90 degrees. Any semicircle angle is 90 degrees. So that means QS is the diameter. So we have to write everything. So we can write TPR angle is 30 degrees because of TR is equal to PR. Then we can write PR S angle is 60. That's exterior angle is sum of opposite interior angle. So that is equal to 60. So PSR angle also 60 degrees. So that means PRPS angle is also 60 degrees. Sum of angles in a triangle. So 60. Now we can say what's the angle of QPS? QPS angle is 30 plus 60. That's 90 degrees. So semicircle angles are 90 degrees. Semicircle angle is 90. That means QS is a diameter. So that's the proof. So we can give 3 marks for that. So 3, 6 and 4, 10 marks for the last question. So we covered all questions in paper 2. So we did 12 questions. So you have to first try all the questions and then watch my video to check your answers.